Alright, so I've been doing a lot of Tekken streams lately, namely on Tekken 7, and I thought maybe we should just do a character tier list, and this is going to be my worst character to my favourite character in Tekken. So without further ado, we'll just jump into it. Some of the images are a little bit cut off, so you can't see their heads, but I'll tell you who they are obviously. You can probably work out from their bodies, but yeah, let's just jump into it. So firstly, my worst Tekken character, hands down, the Tekken character that I just cannot stand the most is in Tekken 7, and that is Lucky Chloe. I hate that character. I do not know who greenlit Lucky Chloe. I don't know whose smart idea that was. Lucky Chloe to me is the worst character in the history of Tekken. And by the way, there's some of the duplicates in here, you know, like the clone characters, like you've got Lee and Violet. So some of them I'll be grouping together. Some I find to be better than their original counterparts, or the clone I don't like that much. But anyway, I'll explain to you as I go through it. But anyway, Lucky Chloe to me is the worst character in Tekken. Next up, a pointless character and a clone character is Sebastian. Sebastian I feel like should have had his own fighting style. I feel like that was a wasted opportunity, even though it's not a massive deal. No one's going to care, no one's going to miss Sebastian. I still feel like when they put him in Tag 2, that was a wasted opportunity. I don't feel like the clone moveset even, it didn't look right on him at all. It should have been less feminine, I guess, but I don't know, that was just me. It looks stupid. So next up, Tekken character I'm not very interested in. And I wasn't sure if I was going to put Combat in this because I left a lot of the boss characters that are not playable, and I left the guest characters out as well, but I put Combat in there because I did play with Combat a little bit on a mod on one game, but I can't remember who. But yeah, Combat is a whatever character, is a throwaway. I would rather see Combat than Lucky Chloe or Sebastian, but still, these characters are trash. They're not far off each other in my eyes. They're characters I never want to see again. I really hope that Harada or Michael Murray or whoever's calling the shots there and doing that, these three never come back. They are the F tier characters as far as I'm concerned. And then we move on to the E slot. And the E slot, for me now, I'll be honest with you guys, I do not like the animals in Tekken. I don't like them. I know that they have their place in Tekken. I know that they're always going to be sort of like mainstays in Tekken, especially Kuma, but I don't like them. So firstly is Panda. Don't like Panda at all. It's just a crappy version of Kuma as far as I'm concerned. I believe that a Panda player did actually win the Tekken World Tour, so there's that. But as a character, don't like the character at all. Absolutely zero interest. And then we've got Roger. I didn't put Roger Jr. in here because Roger and Roger Jr. are basically the same, and if I was to pick one, I would choose Roger. So Roger and Roger Jr. I would put there. Again, if they never put these animal characters in the game, I wouldn't even bat an eye. I don't care. They're whatever throwaway characters. And then obviously you've got Alex. The reason that Alex is above Roger is because I like dinosaurs. I think dinosaurs are pretty cool. Boxing Dinosaur is actually pretty sick, but I feel like even though it's like comic relief, it's just a bit too much. Like, I've never been a fan of it. I remember my mom used to see me playing Tekken and she would see Alex and Roger and she would laugh, and I'd be like, man, she's not taking the game seriously. This is a serious game. And I do like comic relief in my anime and my video games, but Alex and Roger and just the fighting animals in this, I'm not really on board with it. So obviously next I'm gonna be putting Kuma in there. Again, if they put them in a Tekken game, I won't lose my mind. It's not the end of the world. But if it was up to me, I wouldn't. I mean, there's too many cool Tekken characters to have in the game than putting these guys in there. I don't know. They're just not very. They're kind of lame. They're kind of lame, in my opinion. I know that's probably not popular with a lot of people, but they're lame in my opinion. And in that same bracket, I'll put Dr. B. Dr. B is he's a joke character. Again, he's not a guest character. I've seen some people saying that Dr. Boskonovich is from a different game. He's not. He's a Tekken character. I just don't like him. I don't like him at all. There's no part of me that wants Dr. B to ever come back. If any of you were watching my stream yesterday, you could see how frustrating it is to fight him. He's just a massive troll. So you know, Dr. B could throw him to the wayside. Next up, actually I have to say that that's it for F and E. You know, Tekken doesn't have a lot of characters that I really hate. Those would be the characters that I'd be happy to never see return in another Tekken game. Never again see them. So, moving on, the next character I'm going to put in there, the only reason I'm putting them in there is because they just copy everyone, is Mokujin. I do like Mokujin, but they are an every man and every woman character. They have all their fighting styles. There's not really too much else there. It's just, you know, it's whatever. So, Mokujin's going to go there. Next up, I'm going to put Gigas. Gigas, again, a character in Tekken 7 I don't think needed to be there. I think initially when he came in, people saw him as like the Craig Marduk replacement. But Craig Marduk is in Tekken 7 now anyway, so it baffles me as to why he's in the game. I don't know why they put him in the game. I can't put my finger on it, but it is what it is. Next up, we're going to have to put Miharu there, just because I think that, again, you know, like Xiao Yu and Miharu, I'm going to put Xiao Yu there. I don't like Xiao Yu at all, but I'll put Miharu before her just because she's a clone character. She came after her. Xiao Yu's the original. But I'm not saying the characters are not good in gameplay. That's not what this tier list is about. This is just who I like personally. So Xiao Yu and Miharu, they're just a bit of whatever characters. If they're mainstay, I know Xiao Yu's a mainstay, so she will be back. But it's just whatever. Like I have no interest in the character really at all. Next up is going to be Alyssa. Again, another character where if she never came back, I would say whatever. No one cares. Not no one cares. I don't care. I should say that. I'll be fair when I say that. Next, I'm gonna put Josie in there. Josie, again, she's in Tekken 7, as you can see as a trend here. I don't like some of the characters in Tekken 7, but I thought that she was the replacement for Bruce. I think she is the replacement for Bruce, and Bruce is way cooler than Josie. So I would like to see Josie gone, and I would like to see Bruce come back. I would love to see a Fakuram versus Bruce match, battle of the Muay Thai guys. That would be sick. Josie don't need to be there, so, you know, forget Josie. Next up, I'm gonna have to put Lily in there. I'm not a fan of Lily. She's just one big gimmick fest to me. She's like a 2-bit party trick. She's great in tournament because she can really like throw you off, I guess. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Lily at all. So if Lily never came back in a Tekken game, I wouldn't bat an eye really. Next, I'm gonna put Angel in here. Angel is she's like a crappy version of Devil. That's pretty much it. Like, she's not as good as Devil by any stretch of the imagination. Her moveset is much more boring. You know, her frames just weren't as good. She wasn't as dominating as him, and she's really a nothing character. I mean, the most we've seen from her is in the Tekken Tag 2 opening when she took on True Ogre. Other than that, there's not really too much to her. Next, I'm gonna put Leo in here. Leo is a character that I still don't know. I can't remember what their affiliation is. Like, I don't really get Leo. I don't know what they're about. I don't like their fighting style. I don't like fighting them. Irritating character. Get them out of my Tekken. But if they were in Tekken, you know, Leo is unique. They are a unique character. Like, they're not a clone of anyone or anything like that. So if they came back, whatever, not a big deal. No one cares. But yeah, I'm not a massive fan of Leo. Next, I'm going to put Kunimitsu in there. I know that might anger some people, especially because it looks like she's coming in the new season of Tekken. But I'm not a fan of Kunimitsu at all. She's just an easy version of Yoshimitsu. And I know that might sound funny to say because I main Jinpachi in Tekken Tag 2 and he's an easy Mishima. But he's super cool, to me at least. Kunimitsu is not a cool character. I've never liked Kunimitsu. I remember the first time I saw it, I'm pretty sure it was Tekken 2. I was just like, whatever, man. Like, but that closes it out for the D section. So that's gonna be it for the D rank characters. Next up, I'm gonna have to put Shaheen in C rank. He's the first C rank character that's gonna go in there. Shaheen's a bit of a whatever character. Like, I don't think he's gonna come back in Tekken 8. and he's not very. I don't see Shaheen online very often. I don't seem to run into a lot of Shaheens, which might be a good thing. You know, I might actually pick him up and learn him a bit, because I use Feng Wei myself, and he's another character that people just don't seem to play. So yeah, but Shaheen's a bit of a whatever character. I think that they could have done more with him. He seemed more like he was a response to Rashid in Street Fighter 5. I don't know. I might just be reading into that wrong, but yeah, not really a massive fan of Shaheen. Next up, I'm gonna put the capos all together. Firstly, Christy Montero going first, followed by Tiger. Tiger's very cool. Like the design is very cool. But then, obviously, followed by Eddie. Where is Eddie on here? I can't see him. Oh, he's over here. Completely missed him. So yeah, the capos are going to the C rank. Again, they're not bad characters at all. They're very annoying to fight, especially running into a capo team on Tekken Tag 2. All three of them were in Tekken Tag 2. If you ran into a capo team, you may as well just kiss your health bar goodbye. They were so irritating to deal with. So the capos will stay there. Next up, I'm going to have to put Master Raven in just after them. Master Raven is a character that I'm not very fond of. I just think that Raven should have been in Tekken 7. I don't think we needed a Master Raven, but they wanted to like add waifus in there, so Master Raven will go in there. Next character I'm going to add in there, it might be a little bit unpopular, but I don't like Fat Bob. Just don't like him. I don't like the character design. I'm not a fan. I like the moveset is cool. That's why he's higher up on the tier list than some other characters. But I don't like the design of the character, like the aesthetic of the character. It's not really for me. So Fat Bob will stay there. Next, we've got Ganryu. Ganryu going to the C tier just before Bob. Not that I have anything against fat characters. They just happen to be next to each other. Not a huge fan of them. And, you know, I'm not a huge fan, but Ganryu is like a mainstay. And I understand if he would come back in another Tekken game. Completely understand. I know a lot of people have their mains in this lower bracket, and I tend to like different characters to people, I guess. Sometimes I think people don't really like main characters too much. I'm a fan of main characters and main villains, so you probably know where this tier list is going, or do you? So next up, I am gonna have to put in Julia Chang. I'm gonna put in Julia before I do Michelle, because I really liked Michelle in Tekken Tag 2, and in Tekken Tag 2 and in Tekken 2. I just prefer Michelle to Julia. They're not too different. Like I guess they've got minor differences between them, but I'm from the like Tekken 1, Tekken 2 age. I was born into that era, so I played with Michelle first, and I remember Michelle had a really cool theme on her stage. I remember liking Michelle's stage a lot, so Michelle goes before her. Next I've got Claudio. Claudio's an alright design, you know. When I first saw him I was like, eh. And I played with him for a bit and I was like, he's actually quite cool. He's got one of the most irritating hop kicks I've ever seen in anything. But yeah, he's alright. He's okay. Next we're going to have the Jack characters. So we've got Gun Jack, we've got Prototype Jack, and we've got Regular Jack. Now Regular Jack is my least favourite of all of them. I still like him, don't get me wrong. And then Prototype Gun Jack. I thought Gun Jack was a cool design, and then Prototype is my favorite. Prototype Jack is my favorite Jack. So that rounds it out for the C tier characters. Gonna move into the B tier now. So to start with B tier, I'm gonna put Zafina in there. I think Zafina is a very cool character. I love the way she looks. I love the spider design. I think it's all the characters in here are characters I like. I think the spider design is really cool. So yeah, Zafina's good. I was glad to see that she came back in Tekken 7. Yeah, I don't have any like bad things to say about Zafina really. Like I don't really have many bad things to say about anyone in this tier list. And then we've got Slim Bob. See, I like the way Bob fights. I don't like the way Bob looks, but Slim Bob looks cool. I thought it was kind of cool that he lost all that weight, and then I guess did he lose his power or something? But he wasn't as happy. And yeah, I think it's a very cool design. Then we've got Katarina. Katarina is a very cool character. I like the way she looks. I like her fighting style. She's very simple to use. I don't know how to, I swear to God, every time I run into a cat arena online, I get absolutely worked. Can't wrap my head around it at all. And then next up we have Asuka. So Asuka again is really cool. I'm going to put Jun just in front of her because their fight styles are very similar. I didn't put Unknown on this page, but Unknown would go with Jun because they're the same character. Unknown is actually quite different to Jun in Tekken Tag 2, but I like them about the same, so I didn't put Unknown here. So if you're looking at Jun, just consider her Unknown as well. But yeah, I like those characters a lot. And next up, I'm going to put Eliza in there. Eliza is a character that doesn't seem to be too popular with people, but I really like Eliza. I think the vampire design is cool. I thought it was really funny that when she grabs you and bites your neck, her boobs get bigger when she sucks out your blood. I was like, man, that is one wacky thing to do, but Japan don't care about this whole, you know, politically correct thing, it seems. So yeah, I like Eliza. I like the way she fights. I think it's unique. She's not as overpowering as the other characters with meters like Geese and Akuma in Tekken 7, but she's cool. She's a cool character. I'm happy to have her in there. Next up, we have got Craig Marduk. Craig Marduk is a cool character. I've always found him quite funny, and I'm happy they put him in Tekken 7. Can't complain of his inclusion. The only thing I find weird is that Gigas is in Tekken 7 as well. And I don't know who designed Gigas. Gigas is not a cool character design. I would just get him out of there completely. Then we've got Kazumi. Kazumi is she's good. I really like Kazumi. I think the only reason I'm bitter towards Kazumi is because she inherited some of Jinpachi's attacks, and Jinpachi is, you know, is the character I used in Tag 2 and wants to see him come back in Tekken 7. So shame he didn't, but it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Next up, we have got Miguel. Miguel is a really cool character, the character I've considered using for a long time, but because my ass is too lazy to learn new characters, I just haven't. So Miguel is a really cool character, I really like him. And the last one for this tier, for the B tier, is Raven. Raven reminds me of Blade, for obvious reasons. I think Raven is way cooler than Master Raven. I'm not happy that they switched Raven out for Master Raven. So I'd like to see Master Raven out and Raven come back in. So that wraps it up for the B ranking. Next up, we've got A rankings, the A section of the tier list. So to begin, in the A section of the tier list, we're gonna put Wang Jinrei. Wang Jinrei is a really cool character. I like the old martial arts style characters, so yeah, he's really cool. And we're gonna put Baek Do-sun. Baek is majorly irritating to fight. He is so annoying, but he looks so cool and majestic when he's fighting that I can't help but like the character. So yeah, Baek is a cool character. That's why he's so high up on the tier list. Next up, we've got Dragunov. Dragunov, again, very cool character. I really like Dragunov. I actually used him in Tekken 5 DR when he first came out. So maybe one day I'll pick him up again. He's a bit high execution with some of his more damaging combos and his wall carries, so that's why I don't really take the time out to learn him. Tekken's hard enough to learn as it is without learning a character of high execution. But Dragunov is a cool character. Next we've got Leroy. Now I know that's a bit of a controversial one because Leroy has upset a lot of people, but the design itself, the design of Leroy, I'm all for it. He's a really cool character. I got no issues with him at all. I think in gameplay, in the Tekken 7 gameplay, he still needs to be toned down. I still think he's too strong, but he's a cool design. I like him. I would like to see him return a more toned down version though, not as powerful as he is right now. Next we've got Forest Law. Forest Law is cool and he's quite different to Martial Law. He's much easier to play. So he's not a clone of Martial Law. He does have a lot of similar moves to him, don't get me wrong, but he's different enough that I think that, you know, he's not a clone character. Then we've got Steve Fox. Steve is a great character. I hope he never ever gets left out of a Tekken game. If they ever do a Tekken versus Street Fighter that's done in the Tekken style, I'd love to see Steve versus Dudley, or Steve versus Balrog, or something like that. Maybe even Steve versus the other guy that's in Street Fighter 5. I can't remember his name. The other boxer with Psycho Power, whatever his name was. But yeah, I like Steve. Steve is really cool. And yeah, no complaints with him. Next up, we've got King. Now that accounts for the first king and the second king. They're both the same basically. It's the same character. But yeah, King is really cool. And then right next to him we've got Armor King. I always preferred Armor King. I thought he just had a bit more of a badass moveset. He looks like he could be a black dude. I'm not sure. Maybe Hispanic. You can't really tell. But again, the first Armor King and the second Armor King, whichever one, I like both of them. And next we've got Lars. Lars is a Mishima, kinda, I guess. I mean, he's part of the Mishima family, but he doesn't go by their name. But in Tekken 6, he played a massive role. I thought it was kind of cool. I didn't like the power scaling that what was going on there. I don't think he should have been as powerful as he was, but I like Lars. He's cool. And he was in Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. For those people that don't know, Lars was actually in Ninja Storm, which is so weird. But yeah, so those Lars definitely deserves to be there in my opinion. And then next up we've got Anna Williams. Anna Williams being my least favorite of the two sisters. I just think Nina's got a cooler moveset. I prefer Nina as a character. Anna to me has always been one step behind Nina, I guess, in the story. So yeah, and then obviously I would put Nina next to her. They're kind of similar, but Nina's got a better moveset. I find her better. I find her design to be cooler as well. Then we've got Bruce Irvin, who I think should replace Josie. I don't want Josie in the next Tekken game. Please get her out of here. Just get her out of here. And then we've got Paul Phoenix. Paul Phoenix is an awesome character. Love the character. Ain't got no qualms with him at all. The A bracket, because I've got so many characters that I like in Tekken a lot, the A bracket is going to be a bit more packed out than some of the other brackets. And then we've got Martial Law. Martial Law is awesome. Obviously pays homage to Bruce Lee. I haven't got anything bad to say about him at all. Like, he's just a cool character. There should always be a Law representative in any Tekken game. And then we've got Li Chaolan. I put Li Chaolan just before Violet because I think Violet is cooler. I think they have identical movesets, and I know that I left out some clones in this, I think, like unknown, because I just grouped them together, but Violet is just, the changes, I don't know what it is. It just seems really, really cool to me. And then we've got Lei Wulong. Lei Wulong is pays homage to Jackie Chan. Kind of, like, it reminds me of like Jackie Chan in Drunken Master and Rush Hour. He's like a blend of them both. So yeah, like Lei Wulong is an awesome character. And then we've got Horang. Horang is the student of Baekdu's son. Really like Horang. Very irritating to fight, but awesome design. Was originally the rival of Jin Kazama. So yeah, awesome character. Then we've got True Ogre. And that wraps out the A bracket. True Ogre is really hard to fight because he's hard to see. But I just thought the design was awesome. The snakes on the arms and like the old man beard under his neck. Like I like True Ogre. He's a really cool character. And then in the S bracket, we've got Brian Fury to start off. Brian Fury is... one day I want to learn how to play him, but his taunt cancel stuff is hard. And Tekken is difficult as it is, so that's the only reason I haven't picked him up. But Brian is a great character. Next, we've got Yoshimitsu. Yoshimitsu is awesome. I love Yoshimitsu. I think he's great. He's another character I want to pick up, and to be honest with you, I don't have too much issues doing his combos. I know people find him complicated because he's got a very big moveset, but for me that's not an issue. My issue is my execution, which I don't have an issue with Yoshimitsu. So Yoshimitsu is a character I'll probably pick up one day. He's one of the most unique characters in any fighting game. He also appears in Soul Calibur. He's very recognizable, so yeah, Yoshimitsu is a great character. Then we've got Fakuran, which might come as a surprise to some people, but when I saw this character, I was like, yeah, that's Tekken Sagat, and Sagat's one of my favorite characters. So Fakuran is going to be in the S rank, and I think he's awesome. I think he needs to be toned down a little bit. He's a bit too strong. His strings do a bit too much damage. He's got great buttons, great damage, great wall carry, great mix up. You know, he's an all-around good character, and I think the design is wicked. I remember when they announced him and I saw him, I was like, yes. When I think of Tekken, I think of big, strong guys like that, and that's what I want to see in my Tekken games. So next up, we've got Devil Jin. Devil Jin is actually a character I use, but I never play him online because I just don't think my Devil Jin's that good. I find his Electric Wind God Fist to be easier to do than the other Mishimas. I couldn't tell you why. I just do. His combos are easy to me. He's not a very hard Mishima to play in my opinion compared to the other ones. So I do use Devil Jin every now and then. Right next to him I'll put Jin. Just because I find Jin to be cooler, like his moveset is a bit cooler. The Devil Jin like transformation is really sick, don't get me wrong, but Jin's moveset, the Kazama style moveset, is wicked, so yeah, I'll have him there. And then you've got Ancient Ogre, the god of fighting. One of my characters in Tekken Tag 2, but he's not very good in that game. He's got some really weird frames and weird buttons. But yeah, Ancient Ogre is always going to be one of my favorite characters. I remember when they introduced him in Tekken 3 and he was in that opening. I was like, yeah, I'm all for it. This is a great character. Next up, we've got Heihachi. Heihachi, who, you know, RIP, recently passed away in Tekken 7. For those of you that haven't played Tekken 7, you probably shouldn't be watching this tier list anyway. But Heihachi's always been a great character. He's been a catalyst in the story. He's pushed the story forward with Kazuya. So Heihachi's a great character. He's very recognizable. I always thought that he would be the Smash character's representative for Tekken. Hasn't happened yet, but you know, who knows? Maybe one day in the future. Next, we've got Feng Wei. Feng Wei is my main on Tekken 7. I think Feng Wei is super cool. He's got some amazing feats, like he's punching meteorites and destroying mountains. To me, other than the Mishimas and maybe one or two characters, Feng Wei is probably the strongest character in the Tekken canon. If you go back and watch Law and Paul, they fight Feng in Tekken 7, and Feng just gives both of them the work. So he's a great character. Next, I would put Devil, just because Devil is he's an awesome character. I don't use him as much, so he's not going to be as high tier as Kazuya. But yeah, I enjoy using Devil when I do. Jinpachi will go next, as he is my favorite character to use in the history of Tekken, but he's not my favorite character in the lore. And that goes to Kazuya. So Jinpachi is my favorite character to use in any Tekken game. I think his design is better than any Tekken character by far. He's the most fun for me. He feels so complete. He's exactly what I want in a Tekken character, and they haven't replicated that since. I'm disappointed that he's not in Tekken 7. I feel like it's a waste of a moveset. He's actually got a very unique moveset. He shares some things with Heihachi, but he does them in very different ways. For example, his forward 3 is a lunging knee. Heihachi has a forward 3 where he knees you, but they work completely differently. There's a lot more range with Jinpachi, and just all of the moves that he inherits from other Mishimas, there's a complete, like, they're completely different, but they might look animation wise the same, but they do different things. He's also got an easy mode Wind God Fist, which is great. He's got a super easy mode Electric Wind God Fist, which you basically just press both kick buttons down with down, and then press a punch and it will do them. And they're both safe. It's cool. It's great. Like, Jinpachi is an awesome character. He's not first in the tier list because Kazuya's been my favorite character in Tekken since I was a child. I feel like Kazuya has pushed the Tekken story forward, and right now it looks like the only person that can stand up to him is either Jin or Akuma. We don't know if Akuma is going to come back in Tekken 8 because he's a guest character. Even though he's the first guest character I've seen that's had such a major role in the storyline, he actually helped push the story forward. That's why I was considering having him on this tier list, but ultimately he's not a Tekken character, he's a Street Fighter character. But to me, Kazuya is the best character in all of Tekken. In terms of the storytelling, he's my favorite character. So those are all my Tekken characters ranked from worst to best. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Leave a comment in the comment section below letting me know if you agree or if you disagree. I'm guessing, like the Mortal Kombat tier list, I'm gonna get a lot of comments saying people saying that they don't agree that this is a crappy tier list, but it's opinion based, guys, it's not fact. Leave your opinions in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We do daily videos and streams, so if you want to tune in for a long stream of whatever game, it will be Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Yakuza, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, you name it, I'll probably be playing it. I plan on doing like run-throughs of other games, or if you just want to watch 10-minute videos, I'm also doing that on the channel. So guys, it's been a pleasure as always. Take care, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.